Alright, so this week we're gonna do drawings. If you all want to go to page 16-2 in your book, um, we're gonna, so the first thing with doing a drawing, hopefully you can all see my screen here. Um, the first thing is you're gonna open a new file, but instead of doing a part or an assembly, there's a third option, which is drawing. So you would open your SolidWorks here, and then I'll just, oops, I guess I can't do that with this open. Let's try again. I've got all kinds of bugs. They updated my SolidWorks again. So I've got the 2020, 2021 version, but there's all these weird bugs when I try to open things. It just acts strange on me. Oh my gosh. Alright. Yeah, there's all this weird stuff happening. But anyway, so you see these three options. You've got part and assembly, which we've already covered. Then the third option is drawing right here. So you're going to click that, and hopefully you don't get all these error messages like I'm getting. And it'll open up this page here, and it's going to ask you how you want your page laid out. So we're just going to do landscape for now. Actually, for this first exercise in the book, it's telling us to choose D, landscape. So we're going to do that one. Let's see. Should be 34 by 22 inches. And it's showing meters here, which is odd. But let's make sure I've got the same thing that's in the book. Alright, let's just click OK. I'll show you this too. This is the next thing that the book tells you. It says if the options above are not available, right click inside the drawing and you're going to select properties. Let's see, and I'm not seeing properties. I guess I could do edit sheet format. Let's just continue on because, like I said, I'm having all these weird bugs and things aren't showing up the way they're supposed to for me since they updated everything. But this is pretty close to what we want. We've got size D. And it looks like in the book on the next page, 16:4, it looks like their little title block down here, this is what they call the title block. So that's where you put all your information on your drawing. So like you're going to put the title of your drawing right here. Let's make that. That's what they have in the book. So, and then just click out of it. And then, so that's what's down here. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. I keep doing that. All right. So we're gonna delete that. So we've got draw one right here, size D. And let's see. So the book says zoom in on the title block area. I'll just walk you through what typically goes here. So whoever drew this picture, they're going to put their name or their initials and the date. Usually in an environment where there's engineers working on a part, there will be multiple people who work on it. So somebody will design the part, and a lot of the time, I guess the person who designed it would be in here too. So it would be like designed, drawn, checked, and then this is the engineer who approved the drawing. And then, so a lot of the time they'll have engineering approval and also manufacturing approval. So whoever in engineering, decides like, oops, I moved that over a little bit. I'm trying to move it back. Whoever decides, okay, yeah, this part is going to work, they're going to approve it. And that'll be another person after, So, I mean, for instance, the company I work for, we have like 4 mechanical engineers. So one of the guys would probably design the part, and then we would have our drafter, who's not one of the mechanical engineers, but he does the drafting. He would be the person in the drawn field. Checked might be another mechanical engineer, and then the engineering supervisor is going to approve it. And then the manufacturing supervisor, who would be my boss at my company, would also approve the drawing. QA is maybe once the part is made, somebody is going to do like measurements and make sure it was manufactured correctly, and they're going to initial and date here. So that's what that section is. Tolerances are like when it's manufactured, when your part is manufactured, they're going to say everything needs to be within this range of the measurements on the drawing. So like say you have a square and it's 1 inch by 1 inch. They're going to say the tolerances are plus or minus 5/1000ths of an inch. And so that would go in here. That's what the tolerances are. Because obviously in real life nothing is perfect, right? But they want to get it as close to perfect as they can, or close enough that it'll work. So if it's off by 10/1000ths of an inch, maybe that part isn't going to fit where it's supposed to. But if it's only off by 3/1000ths, it'll be fine. So they're going to say it can't be off by more than that. And then we know it'll work, but we know it's not going to be exactly 1 inch. Depending on how precise your measuring tools are, you're going to always be able to find a little bit of difference in the real life part and the measurements that it's supposed to have on the drawing. And then over here, I guess this is just what is that for? A lot of the time over in this kind of area to the left, they'll have revisions. So like if you design a part and then it turns out something about it isn't going to work, then they'll come up with a revision. So they'll say like, this is Rev A. And they'll put right here, here's what we changed. This measurement was 1.5 inches, now it's 1.75. And then like if there's another revision, that's going to be Rev B, and they'll describe what changed over here. And Rev C, and they'll describe what changed over here. So that's what would go kind of in that area. I don't know if that's what this is necessarily for, but usually on the drawings that I've seen, it's somewhere over here is where they say like if there's been revisions. So that's the title block. And the book says fill out the information in the title block. So we can do that real quick. I'm going to turn the lights on in here. They just shut off on me a minute ago, so 1 second. While I'm turning on the lights, does anyone have any questions on the title block so far? Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Did you have any questions on the title block that I just went over? Alright, so we're going to go into that in just a second. So we're going to go, I just did edit sheet format. So if you click edit sheet, you're up here, you can edit your sheet, so you can add in things like more, you can add in the views of your model. If you right click, go edit sheet format, then it lets you edit the title block and it'll turn blue. So, so go ahead and do that. Right click and then select edit sheet format. And you should see all these lines here turn blue. And then you'll be able to like click on the text boxes and change them or type things in there. Does that help? So let's see. Are you not able to edit it still? Okay, so if you double click on the blue text, you can edit that. Um, a lot of the fields don't have text boxes in them yet, so we've got to add those in. But are you able to like click on a field that has blue text in it? Okay. All right. Yeah, so you need to double click on those and then it'll let you edit them. Okay. Okay. So real quick one more time. If you right click on your drawing anywhere in the screen, you'll see right here, I already clicked it, but you'll see right here you have edit sheet format. It's this little symbol with a pencil. So click on that and all your lines here should turn blue. And when you right click on your drawing, all right, yeah. Um, okay. Okay, does everyone see that up here, the tabs on the top left corner? If you click the far right tab that says sheet format on it, and you should have edit sheet format in there. If you click edit sheet format, then you can see title block fields and automatic border show up. And you can use those to change your border and your and your title block fields. So I don't know. That's odd. Like a that's weird. I don't know what that means. I think I would have to see your screen in order to. Nah, I don't think that's quite. I don't think we're quite at that point yet. All right, yeah, go ahead and close and reopen and make sure that you open a drawing and not something else. And you should have this. You'll know if it's not this screen with the drawing template. But make sure you have that drawing template. And if you're not on there and you right click, you're not going to get the menu that you want. So you got to right click on your template. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start editing our title block. Is everybody else with me, more or less?
More or less.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I deleted a couple of text boxes here. So, we're going to go ahead and add in some text. Why is this not? It's not working for me. Okay. Trying to get a text box here. Okay, so yeah, so if you click on one of the fields and you don't have a text box there, you can go title block fields right here, and then click the area where you want to put a field. That might not do it. I just had it. Okay. So see how you get like these little rectangles with an X in them? So you can click one of those. So first you're going to click title block fields, and then you're going to click one of these little rectangles, and it's going to let you make a new text box there. This is what that text field is called. You can change what it's called right here, but that's going to be the drawn by field. See how it's in the drawn area. And then if you click that again, you'll get a text box. You just double click on it. So I'm going to say this drawing is drawn by Claire. You can put whatever you want in there, put your name or put something else, and then click out of it. Date, let's double click that. Let's say 11/23/2020. And in here, this is the company name field, I guess. That's what they're telling us. So we can put, let's just put CPTC. I don't know. Whatever. You can put whatever you want. But this is just to play around with it a little bit.
Is that right above title?
Yeah. So, that's where it's telling us to put company name in the book. I'm not really following the book. I'm just kind of going through and adding things. But basically, you can double click anywhere you want and just add in text appropriately. And let's see. I think somewhere the book covers how to actually add a text box. I'm trying to find that. Well,
I was able to. I just clicked in the area and then just right click on it. You can add a text box. It gives you that option.
oh, okay. I'm still trying to find that. It's like not showing up for me.
Title block fields, I think it is.
Right here.
So if you click in the area that you want to type it into, and then just click title block fields, and that gives you an option to change it over if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, that I think that's if there's already this little box here. but I deleted my one in title, so I'm trying to figure out how to add it back in. I can't remember once you delete it.
Okay, well that's what I did. I just clicked in the area where above where it says title,
Uh-huh.
um, and then right clicked and it says add title block, and then that's what I put it. So at least that works for me.
Hmm. Okay.
It's kind of odd that mine keeps working and yours isn't, because usually
Yeah,
mine
that's unusual. Um.
it's 2020 though.
Yeah. All kinds of weird stuff can happen, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, if somebody figures out how to actually add a brand new text box from one that isn't there, and yeah, I'm kind of stuck on this. So let's just keep going. I don't want to hold you guys up. Um, so I think I mean, I know it's in the book somewhere. I'll come across it and then I'll be like, oh yeah, here, I'll show you. um, so uh, on let's see. All right, so on page 16-7, step 5, switching back to the drawing sheet. So it says right click in the drawing and select edit sheet. So that's how to get out of editing your title block and edit your actual drawing. So let's just zoom to the drawing here. Um, so now if we go back, let's see. Alright, so it's saying use the view palette. So on the right side of the screen in the task pane area, you're going to have, let's see, view palette right here. It's this little uh, square with 4 little shapes in it. And we're going to go I think we need to actually put a drawing in here. So we want to select a drawing or a part to put in this drawing. So if you click these little green circly arrows up here, um, it'll open up your window here and you can pick the drawing that you want to put in. So we're going to do this machined block this time. This is the part that we drew last week that had the configurations. I'm going to go ahead and open that. So, and then it gives you all these options for different views of your machine's block. See how it showed up there? And whatever part you decide to put in your drawing, it's going to show you that part right here. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding these to my drawings. So when you make a drawing, it's totally up to your discretion what you put in there. It's kind of cool because unlike making a part, like you can show the part in the drawing however you want. It's not going to give you like underdefined or you didn't put in all the measurements or you didn't do this or that. I mean, obviously if you want it to be a good drawing that people can read and use, then you want to have all those things, but it's very like unrestricted, I guess, as far as what SolidWorks, the software, tells you how to, what to do. Um, so so it gives you all the standard views here: front, top, right, back, left, bottom, so on and so forth. Um, and you can draw any one of you can drag any one of these views into your drawing. So we'll just do this one. So that's the front view, and it shows you the front of that part. And then from there, all you do is move your mouse out to the side, and it'll drag it out and show you that side of the part. So like I'll click and drop that one there. And then if I go down here, it's going to give me the angled one. This will give me the back. So let's do an angled view. And they all kind of come off of this original one here. So whatever you add after that is going to, like, if you move the mouse away from that, it's going to show you the view, like, off of that original one. So if you're done... I'm sorry? I believe it was chapter 8. One second. Let me find it real quick. I think I had the page marked at some point, but... Yeah, it was chapter 8. It's the first exercise. So if you're done adding views, then you can go over here and click OK, and it won't make you add any more. So that's the main configuration of that machined block. But if you remember, we also made multiple configurations. We did that cutaway view so that you could see those holes in the top. And let's see. Somewhere it shows us how to add in the configuration. Actually, before we get to that, let's go to page 16-16. So, if you hover over any of these views, it's going to give you this orange border, or you can hover over part of it and it'll show you, like, the feature that you're hovering over will turn orange. So on page 16-16, step 16, it says select the front view's border. We didn't add in a front view yet, so let's go ahead and do that. I guess, yeah, this is the front view. So let's go ahead and drag that over and just put it right here. So, we're going to click on that. We're going to select the border. And then under the display style section, we're going to go hidden lines visible. So that's that second little cube there. Does everyone see what I'm looking at here? Over on the left side under display style.
Yeah, kind of. I can't find the machine part that we did last week, so I might have to use just a different part for it.
Okay, that's fine. If you use a different part, you can still kind of follow along with what I'm doing. I mean, most of these steps are pretty applicable to anything. So you'll still be able to see how to, like, add things in and everything. So go ahead and go for it. So did everyone see how when I clicked hidden lines visible, all of a sudden now you can see these lines inside of the part that you couldn't see before? So, like, these are the holes in the front and back. These are those slots on the top face there. And these are the holes on top of the part. Okay, yeah. I'll do it on this one this time. So see how when you hover over it, it's got that orange outline? So click that orange outline to select that view. And then on the left here under display style, you've got all these different options here. So there's wireframe, there's hidden lines visible, which is what I clicked before. But you can click on any of these and you'll see what it does. This one is hidden lines removed. That's what it started with, or that's what we had originally. This one is shaded with edges, and this one is shaded without edges. So let's do wireframe on this one. So this is the same as hidden lines visible, but instead of them being dotted so that you know that they're hidden lines, they're solid. So this is kind of confusing a lot of the time on a real mechanical drawing. You don't really want to use this because somebody looking at the drawing isn't going to know that these lines are inside the part. They look like they're on it. That, you can't really tell what's going on. You're like, what are these? For instance, these holes on top, are those grooves, or are those holes inside the part, or are those like, raised ridges there? You can't tell. So that's why hidden lines visible is cool, is because they're dotted, so you know those are inside the part. Um, let's try looking at this one because it's from the side. If you click on that border again, we can do, let's try shaded with edges. So now it looks like, it's shaded and you can see what's going on a little more easily, which is kind of cool. Shaded without edges just means it removes those outlines, which again can be kind of confusing because you don't know like where one piece of it begins and the other piece ends. So the outlines are helpful. The big thing with making drawings is that you want them to be easy to read. So anybody that you hand one of these drawings to should be able to look at it and understand what's going on with this part. So like, you want to give a bunch of different views. You want to make sure that once you add your measurements, which we haven't done yet, but once you add your measurements, you have measurements for everything. So like, you can put a measurement only for this hole, for example. But if you do that, you're going to want to say like times 3 or something. Let's see. Let's try all right, here we go. So here's smart dimension. It's kind of like in a regular sketch. So you're going to go to annotation, this tab up here, and then smart dimension. And then you can click your hole here. So it's going to give you that dimension. It's 0.02. But then you don't want to leave it up to the person looking at the drawing to assume that all 3 of these are 0.02. You want to make sure that they know, like, hey, this measurement here is referencing all 3 of these. So, so down here in dimension text, you can add that in. You can say like times 3. So now they see like, okay, it's 0.02 times 3. That times 3 there means it's referring to 3 different spots on the drawing. So, so it's referring to this one, and this one. And so you can edit your dimension text. And the thing with that, every company is going to have a different standard way of doing it. So they might say like, oh, we don't want you to do that times 3 thing because somebody could look at it and think that you're saying it's that measurement times 3. So like instead of 0.02, they're going to say, oh, it's 0.06 then. But it's not. That means it's 3 times. So like the way we do it at my company actually is we go at the beginning, we go 3x, and then diameter 0.02. So that way they know like it's 3x, but you can't really confuse it with this 0.02. It's off over here at the beginning. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. Is everybody kind of with me still, or are you still following along? No? Okay. You have any questions? So the person who you hand this drawing to isn't gonna have your SolidWorks file. They're just gonna have this drawing. So you need to make sure that your dimensions are also in the drawing. and it doesn't automatically add them in for you. You can have it automatically add them in, but it's usually really cluttered when you do that. Um, so, um,
By the way, I do ever get glitched by restarting the program. But
yeah.
you've got two sides. You got machine block. How does she get to the one with the slopes going from left to right?
Yeah, so if you go back over here into your views, you can select any of these. So like this one, I dropped this one in and then I put this one on there. And then I got this one by going back in here and I dragged it over. So like you can drag any of those in and just drop them and it'll show up. So, yeah.
How do I get rid of one if I got one submitted in mind?
hmm So, if you just hover over it and click, so this outline will turn blue, you can just go delete. And it'll say, do you want to delete that drawing view? And you say yes. Just hit your delete key. So hover over it, select, and then hit the delete key. I don't actually want to delete that one though, so I'm going to say no. Yeah, no problem. So, alright. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a cutaway view. So that's on page 1616. Step 17, creating a broken out section. So this isn't real, I guess it's not a cutaway view, it's a broken out section. So you're going to go to the Sketch Tool tab. So Sketch. And then you're going to select a closed freeform shape on the you're going to sketch a closed freeform shape on the view around the front area as shown. So they tell you to use the spline tool. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to select an oval because it's easier. And then we're going to go on here. We're going to go like that, I guess, because why not? And then, let's see, and then we're going to go, we're going to select that closed profile. So we're, oops. We're going to go to the View Layout tool tab. We're going to click Broken Out Section, so that's right here. Shoot, I think I unselected my thing here. Okay, there we go. So you want it to be light blue, you just gotta have it selected, and then click Broken Out Section. You're gonna specify your depth here. So they tell us to enter 0.5. And it'll cut away a ½ inch of the part, so you can see like a ½ inch in. It's going to cross hatch it like this, so you know that that's a cutaway section. And you can see because you went in a ½ inch, now you can see these holes here that we drilled on the top of the part. So a cutaway view is kind of similar. So we're going to go to the, let's see, we're going to go to Model View over here on the left. So in your View Layout tab, again, second from the left, Model View. And you're going to select the part that you want, which is our machined block. And then, oops. I think I just went too far. Okay, so we're going to click Model View. We're going to click Machined Block. And then, I feel like I'm missing something. So under, let's see, the orientation window. Okay, we're gonna do, we've got trimetric and dimetric. It's telling me to select isometric. That's weird. Maybe if I select a different thing here. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Alright, so let's just try selecting trimetric. Actually, I think that's fine. I don't know. So we're going to use a custom scale down here under scale. It's going to say we're going to do 1 to 2, I guess. That's what they want. So, and we're going to put this isometric view down here somewhere. We'll just put it right here. So you can see that this is a scaled version. It's half the size of these other ones, these other views, because we selected the custom scale of 1 to 2. And then somehow there's something about a cutaway view here somewhere. But, oh, okay. So we're going to change the configuration now from the default to the cutaway view. That's on the next page. So click that new isometric views border. And then cutaway view up here under reference configuration. So upper left corner under reference configuration, you're going to click cutaway view. So that's how you select your the other configuration of that part that you had. And then it'll show up here with the cutaway that you made in that configuration. Does everyone see that? I guess I'm kind of on top of that view a little bit again. There you go. Does everyone see my cutaway view here? Did you see how I did that? So, another thing you can do with a cutaway, you can add cross-hatching, so it's clear that like this is a cutaway part. This isn't the actual part. This is a cutaway view of the part. So we're gonna put cross-hatching in that area where the cut is. So it's added automatically, like up here, if you make the cutaway in the drawing. But when you make a cutaway view in your part and then you add it in, it doesn't automatically add it because the software doesn't know that, like, hey, you cut this away as, you know, a tool to make your drawing. You did it in the part, so it can't really differentiate, if that makes sense. So we're gonna hold down the control key and then select these 3 faces. Where our cuts are, so that little one down there. Oops, I don't think I selected it. Okay. And then we're gonna go on the annotation tab. We're gonna go area, hatch, or fill up here. And we have those 3 faces selected, so you should see face 1, face 2, and face 3 over here. And then click OK, and it cross-hatches it for you. Does everyone see that? You can also do different types of cross-hatching. So, you can do like solid, and do this cross-hatching. You can change it so it has a different appearance. So like cork looks like that. That's kind of random. This is bronze something or other. Gray cast iron. So depending on what material you have, you can select a different type of cross hatching that I guess they think is more appropriate for that material. You can make it basically look however you want. So, is everyone still with me on this? Yeah. Alright, so let's see. We went over to sketch. I drew a little oval. I'll do it again here. So once you draw that, go to, let's see, where was, let me just go back in the book. I think it was the view layout tab. Yeah, and then click broken out section here in the view layout tab. Do you see that? So you click that, and then here you're going to enter a depth. So let's do like 0.25 on this one. And then click OK. And it'll cut away that section. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So after I have the oval on here, you've got it selected. So you're going to go to your View Layout tab. Do you see that? So go to your View Layout tab, and then over here, you've got Broken Out Section. So you're going to click on that. And then you'll have this menu right here. So in depth, you're just going to enter a distance. So I'll do, let's do 0.05 this time. And then hit OK. Okay. So it should be in your View Layout tab here. You should have Broken Out section over here. It's the fourth from the right. Is that showing up for you? Yeah. Alright. So you've got to have your circle selected here. Alright. So you've got to click on it. And then you're going to go to your View Layout tab right here. And then you're going to have Broken Out section. It's the fourth from the right. Do you see Broken Out section up there? You want to confirm for me that you've got that? If you're saying something I can't hear you. You see it? Okay, cool. So you're going to click on that. You're going to enter your depth here. I'm just going to leave it at 0.01 this time. And you're going to click OK. And it'll cut away whatever depth you entered there. No problem. I think that was like the 5th time, but you're good. Alright, so does anyone else have any questions so far? Any questions? No?
Right on track with you.
Cool. Alright. So we added a cutaway view. We added a different configuration. We added cross hatching. So we're on page 1620. So you can modify your crosshatch properties. I just showed you guys that too. So let's select this crosshatching here. For instance, if you just click that face now, you'll see this area hatch fill pop up over here on the left. And you can make it solid. Uh, we have it crosshatched. You can also click none if you want to get rid of your crosshatching. But we're going to keep it crosshatched, and we can edit the appearance of our crosshatches. So like we can change, they're all named materials here. So whatever one you click is going to be attributed to some kind of material. Um, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. They're just different ways of crosshatching, as far as I know anyway. There might be some expert out there that says, oh no, I know exactly what all of these mean. But anyway, we're not going to actually change it, but you can do that. And that's pretty much everything for this exercise. There's also, like, if you flip to the next page, 1622, the book goes over all these different types of, like, symbols that you can put in your drawings, that show, there's symbols for different things. So you can add those in however you want. Geometric tolerance symbols and modifying in whole symbols. It's a good idea to kind of be familiar with what all of those mean, because someday, you're going to be an engineer working at some company and somebody's going to hand you a drawing and there's going to be a symbol on it and you're going to be like, what the heck does that mean? And I mean, there's thousands and thousands of different symbols. Like, these are the common ones right here. But no matter, how familiar you are with engineering drawings, you're going to eventually run across something that you don't know, and that's totally fine. But it's a good idea to be familiar with the basic ones so that when you look at a drawing like this, you know what it means. The other day, if you look on page 1622, on the right side of that chart there, the symbol for total runout. I had a drawing at work the other day. Somebody handed me this drawing, and he was like, what does that symbol mean? And I said, I have no idea. And he said, it looks like somebody dabbing. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that. But it's the two little arrows. Kind of dumb. But anyway, it means total run out. I actually didn't know that, and I just saw that here. I don't know what total run out even is. Does anybody know? Anyone want to enlighten me? We could also look it up, I guess. But you should have, those of you who have like the whole set of files that came with the book on your computer, you should have like symbol libraries. Actually, I think they're built into SolidWorks, maybe. Let's see. Annotations. I don't know. I'm not sure. But, oh, here we go. I guess you can add in stuff like this. Maybe that's how you add a text box. I'm just playing around at this point, so. But in annotation, if you want to add a note, let's try going down to the title block here. And let's click boop. And then let's name our drawing here. So let's call this I always hit enter and then I forget that it actually makes a second line. You got to click away from your box there. So, okay, so, and then this is the thing with the symbol. So I selected this arrow over here. So now it's like gonna put this wherever I click. But it's gonna, I just had that arrow. It's going to point to your original instance of that somehow. So I'm gonna get rid of that. But anyway, that's how you add a text box. I guess you go up to Note and click somewhere and type in whatever you want. Glad we figured that out. Any questions?
Not me.
Okay, cool. Anyone else? All right, I think we're gonna wrap this up for today then. That's a quick overview of how to make a drawing. So we're gonna hopefully most of you will be in my CAD 2 class next quarter. I don't know for certain, but it's not set in stone yet that I'm gonna be teaching CAD 2 next quarter. Hopefully uh, they want me to, but we'll see. Um, but anyway, CAD 2 I think will be offered next quarter, so um, hopefully most of you will be in that class, and drawings might be covered in a little more depth there. I'm not going to give you an assignment on drawings just because we don't really have time. I already promised you guys this week off, or this week to work on last week's assignment. Um, so we'll probably cover drawings a little more next year. But for now, that's about all there is to it. You guys are welcome to play around and make your own drawings. If you have questions, let me know. But as far as what I'm going to cover in class, I think that's about it. So
Are you staying CAD 2 in springtime? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be winter quarter. And then we'll do CAD 1 again in the spring. I think that's the plan for right now.
Because a lot of us signed up for the AC circuit, electronic motors and drives are lean for winter.
Okay. All right. I'll have to talk to Jason about that because he told me that CAD 2 is going to be next quarter. But if obviously if it doesn't fit in anybody's schedule, then there's no reason to offer it. So we'll
Well,
be figuring
I
that
know
out.
two people that are signed up for CAD 2 for winter quarter.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I know. Um, Jason said that it was going to be offered to me because it would be me teaching it. So hopefully, um, I don't have my schedule confused, um, but yeah, I know that also like there's your cohort and there's another cohort that's already taking CAD 1, and I think a lot of those people will be taking CAD 2 next quarter. So, I don't know if you guys are going to have CAD 2 in the spring, if that's when it's going to be offered again. I think they're planning on alternating them like every other quarter, so it'll be CAD 1 again in the spring and then CAD 2 next summer. But depending on how things go, they might end up just doing both. I don't know. So I think the schedule beyond winter is there's still a few things that are up in the air. But
Yeah, because after wintertime, I gotta pick one, so I'm hoping CAD 2 be open.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think CAD 2 is also an optional class, so depending um, on your situation, if you don't have time to take it and you're not super into it, then you don't have to. Obviously, we want to make it so that everybody's able to, but it just depends on everybody's schedules. So, all right. Did someone have a question for me about the lab last week?
Yes. So my project, I did a cylinder head, so I don't have any like extra parts. It's just a cylinder head, but my the I guess the what we called it configuration. So I have it
Yeah.
like I have the default configuration, but then I did a cutouts, and then I did like a starting block. Like, okay, this is a solid piece. I suppressed everything, and then I did one other one. Would that be okay then? Since
Yeah,
it's not like
that's
parts coming together.
yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Cool, then I can submit.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say whatever as long as you have several configurations. Um I just want to make sure that you all know how to do configurations cuz that can be pretty important um you know in like in a work setting if you're doing drafting or whatever. You don't always want to permanently edit your whole part, but you want to have saved edits of the part, and it's a much cleaner way to do it than like saving multiple files on your computer and not knowing which is which or whatever. Once you have all your configurations in one part file, it just makes your life a million times easier. So, anyone else have any questions about the lab or about anything else? No? All right, let's wrap up for today then. Actually, one more thing. I wanted to ask if anyone is planning on coming in on Wednesday for lab time. Don't all speak at once.
I'm okay. I wasn't planning on it.
Okay. All right. If so, I guess if anybody is planning on coming in, go ahead and send me a message. And it's fine anytime up until Wednesday afternoon. But I was thinking about maybe because it's the day before Thanksgiving, I don't know if anybody really needs to be here. I'm gonna come by after I'm gonna come by at 3:30. I'm gonna be here for a little bit. But I just wanted to double check with all of you guys. And if nobody's planning on coming in and it's 4 o'clock, I'm not gonna bother keeping the lab open all night. So, um,
Well, good. I just got a couple questions on lab if you want to do them. I didn't get a chance to talk to you last week. I'd love to talk to you conference room after.
yeah, absolutely. And on Wednesday too, like I'll be available to talk to you remotely all evening. That's totally fine. I just wanted to check and see because it's the day before Thanksgiving. I know most of you probably have plans, legal or not. So I wanted to make sure that everybody's uh, okay with everything at this point. But yeah, Virgil, if you want to hop in my conference room as soon as we wrap up, we can go over whatever you need to
That
talk
sounds
about.
good.
hmm Anybody else have any questions before we go?
So, hopefully this is my final one. I submitted the drawing at the SolidWorks, but then each of the different configuration I sent them to you as a JPEG. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you submit the part file once, I'll be able to open the part file and see all your configurations. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Hopefully I did it right then.
Yeah, I'll let you know if there's anything wrong, but that sounds fine to me. Um, yeah, if you guys ever if you ever have trouble submitting anything, if it doesn't go through, if I don't see it or whatever, I'll send you a message before I just like give you a bad grade on it. I'll say like, "Hey, did you mean to send me, for instance, a Word document instead of a SolidWorks file like or whatever?" I'm not going to don't worry about that. Just. So, yeah, so turn in what you've got. If I can't see all your configurations, I'll let you know, but yeah.
Okay, well, that's it for me. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I guess I will see you, what, on
Mhm.
the.
Yeah. So yeah, a week from today, I guess is going to be our next class still. So I'll see you all then.
Sweet. All right, talk to you later.
Cool. All right. All right. Anybody else have questions or should we call it a night? I'm gonna stop streaming here.